Hello, my name is Matthew, and I'm not sure if this is going to be a productive conversation, but I want to talk about the death of Superman and compare it with the Oedipus cycle by Sophocles. And I'm sure most people compare the things as they're reading, the latest thing they read to the thing they're currently reading, even if there's no reason to make those comparisons. And I had recently got The Death of Superman on store credit from the local comic shop, and I picked up this Fitzgerald translation of the Oedipus cycle, Oedipus Rex, Oedipus at Colonus, and Antigone. And I read The Death of Superman, and then I read these three wonderful plays. And there are actually similarities. One is an ancient masterpiece of drama and tragedy, and the other one is the final end of the 20th century's greatest superhero, the flagship of all the superheroes, Superman, and how he finally comes to his death, the epic conclusion. And the first similarity is that both of the stories are known before you read them. So with The Death of Superman, it's on the cover. You have this iconic image of Superman's cape in tatters, and one of the first images is a tombstone with Superman's emblem. We're going to be reading a story of the death of Superman. We know the conclusion. And with these three plays, Oedipus Rex, At Colonus, and Antigone, pretty much everybody that would be picking this up, pretty much everybody knows the fate of Oedipus, at least. The people at the time that were watching these plays being performed, the audience, the public in ancient Greece, absolutely knew this story. They knew the whole story. There wasn't going to be any surprise. There wasn't any tension with what's going to happen with Oedipus. The fun would be how we get there and what's the treatment in the story that's being told. But Oedipus is going to have a tragic end. And with the story of the Oedipus Rex, which is just a masterpiece of a play, it's this so completely well constructed puzzle box. Everything just fits in together perfectly, building up, just winding the tension, the drama, the tragedy. It begins with a plague. We're in this little town in ancient Greece, and there's famine and pestilence. The public is outside of Oedipus's home, and there's calls and cries that there are bad omens. And Oedipus comes out and finds the village, the citizens, very upset about this. And Oedipus is some ways a great man who also has great flaws and wants to solve this problem. And he calls a prophet. He wants to have wellness and productivity and wealth for the citizens of his town. And the blind prophet comes and says, I can't say, it's too terrible. And Oedipus, who has a temper, wrings it out of this prophet, and the prophet turns all of this doom, all of this suffering on the shoulders of Oedipus. There was a terrible murder of the original king of this land. And as it goes along, there's suspicions within Oedipus. There's facts, new information is revealed, and finally Oedipus realizes when he was fleeing his homeland, his area of birth, from another prophetic omen that he was going to murder his father and sleep with his mother while he's fleeing his own town, to just be completely away and avoid this horrible future that's awaiting him. He comes across a carriage, and there's a man that attempts to murder him, or so he says. And he murders this man, and he comes into town and becomes the king. As this information is being revealed, his wife is getting more and more concerned, and finally there's just a break. The man that he murdered was his father, and the woman that he eventually married was his mother. They had children, they had sons and daughters. His wife hangs herself at this knowledge. Oedipus, at the sight of his dead wife, mother, by her own hands, hanging from a beam, gouges out both of his eyes, blind, and then again flees into exile. Oedipus Rex goes on at Colonus, his daughter and sister Antigone go to another land, and he meets his final doom. Antigone, the last play, all of this swells up into this grand finale, which leads to even more tragedy and death in this ill-fated family. Then we have the death of Superman, the greatest of all the superheroes. And who does he meet but this character named Doomsday? We have Doomsday here, and he wears an outfit, and he is bonded in these metal fasteners, these pipes and tubes wrapping around him. Throughout the story, he's breaking them off bit by bit until he's finally revealed. But here we have Doomsday and Superman. And Doomsday's a new character. He just comes out of the blue. It doesn't matter who he is or what he is or where he came from. The first piece of dialogue or text just says, somewhere on Earth. And we have Doomsday's fist. He's punching himself out of the earth. And we have Superman. And there is no story here. It's so disappointing. Doomsday, and he's just a Tasmanian devil type. We're told that he is incredibly powerful and strong and fast and has no rationality. He just growls and grunts and roars, but has no purpose, no mission, just his path of destruction. He's not even very interested in Superman. It's not an arch nemesis. Superman just wants to stop this unstoppable creature, monster, this villain. And it's really unfortunate. The entire story is a long brawl. Different superheroes arrive. There's some team-ups. Doomsday is indefatigable. He's unflappable. He's impenetrable. And he just crushes through these superheroes, putting them in the hospital, greatly injuring different heroes, and just causing public terror and havoc. And the artwork, I wouldn't say that it's bad, but it's static or stale. We need pieces of dialogue to help us along. Someone will say, "I've never seen anything move that fast." And I don't know if I'll be able to just quickly find... It might be something like that. So here's Doomsday kicking Superman. And we're just told that that he's incredibly strong and incredibly powerful, but visually it doesn't come off the page. And as a result, it doesn't feel like a story. It feels like an event created by a marketing department. I even looked to see who wrote it and who illustrated it. And we just get this committee, this long lists of people that were involved. So it's not a singular vision. And we have Oedipus that dies. We have Superman that dies. Superman, meanwhile, it's just a long, ongoing brawl until he's beaten to death. The main difference is there's no conflict. It's Superman doing what he does, fighting the bad guy. And supposedly, he's in a position where the bad guy is more powerful than him, stronger than him, faster, more invincible. And Superman doesn't do anything clever or smart. There's no plan, no ingenuity with the powers that he has. It's just a fist fight until he's beaten to death. The story of Oedipus is full of conflict. Every character is conflicted. There's likable qualities about the villainous characters. There's villainous qualities in the heroic characters. There's this impending doom over all of these characters that are trying to find a way out. And everything just keeps snapping around them. Oedipus was trying to do something that he thought was right. And again with Creon and Oedipus's wife and Oedipus's parents, his father, and towards the end of the play with the two daughters, Antigone, and how she believes in respecting her family and respecting the dead and her fallen brother. And there's no character development. There's no personalities. There's no climax or pacing or suspense in the death of Superman. And the sad thing is that in the 90s, when this came out, I remember this being in popular culture. It was on television. People were talking about it. It was an event. And other than the gimmick, there's no reason why Superman would die at the end. But other than the gimmick that he does, there's no draw to the story in the pages. The artwork is satisfactory. There's nothing really terrible about it. That's a great image. I don't know what kind of artwork could elevate this story. So, Superman versus Sophocles. I'll say that Sophocles, the Oedipus cycle, comes out the victor. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you've read the Oedipus cycle, if you've read the death of Superman. Let me know what you think about comparing them, anything that I had to say. So leave a comment if you would like, and thank you for watching, and take care.